Hey guys, welcome to the Blondest Podcast. I am so excited for today's episode. I'm your host, Savanna Boda.
And I'm your co-host, Tyler Jacoby.
And today we have the CEO of Hydrinity with us. We are so excited. I don't do very many guests besides Tyler, who's our co-host on the podcast. So this is a very special episode full of education and really getting to learn about my favorite skincare line. I'm so excited and so excited for their growth. I mean, it has really hit the market and just taken off. It's crazy.
No, I remember whenever they came into your office and I was like, oh, what's that? And you were like, because Savanna, if you know one thing about her, is like she really does not bring on a lot of skincare lines.
Yeah.
Like they really have to impress her. And I don't even know why I came to the spa that day, but I just happened to be in the spa whenever they came and talked to you and they were like, she's in a meeting in the back. And I was like, okay, I waited up front. And then
2 seconds later, I was like, I'm carrying this new line. And you're like, that was fast.
Yeah. And then you were like, Tyler would love these products. And then I remember he gave me...
I think it was the hyacin spray was the first thing you tried, right?
Yeah. And I love both the healing hydrator and the hyacin spray. I use it every day. I couldn't imagine now my skincare routine without them.
I know. It's super great. But yeah, I'm very picky about the skincare lines I bring on. I pretty much... every day, the girls always have like a count of like how many reps come to our office, whether it's laser or skincare. And I'm very, like I said, I'm very, very picky. But I just believed so much in this technology. And truly, hyaluronic acid is, the forefront of this brand. But they have so many other exciting things coming. But the thing is, hyaluronic acid has been around forever. And I think people are kind of getting bored with it. And there were other ingredients coming out. And they just reinvented it and created such a powerful and amazing molecule that has really changed the game for hyaluronic acid. And now I, like every other hyaluronic acid I carry, I'm just like, don't recommend them anymore because I'm like, there's just nothing like this. But anyways, enough about us. Let's introduce the Hydrinity CEO, Keith. Welcome.
Thank you, Savanna. It's my pleasure. I kind of feel like I'm in the midst of aesthetic royalty here, so I'm kind of starstruck.
Stop it.
But thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to converse with you today.
We are so excited. So we just are going to interview you today and have you share anything and everything you want to tell our listeners. So how about you start off by telling us how you got into the industry and, how Hydrinity was born?
This is actually a great story. Sometimes it's better in life to be lucky than good. Hydrinity, actually, we started as a regenerative medicine and advanced wound care company. Our focus was treating difficult wounds, severely compromised skin, and I had a passion for using hyaluronic acid as a drug delivery system for oncology patients, especially head and neck radiation therapy. In our preclinical studies, we were just amazed by how well the skin responded, and not just responded, but how rapidly it responded. I mean, I would get calls from the investigators and say, you have to come look at these patients. And I would come in Savannah. It was, they would hug me. I mean, there was days that we would just cry together I remember this young lady, when I say young, she's 100. And she gets up and she hugs me and she goes, thank you. My husband is so much better now.
Wow.
And that got me to thinking, it's like, if this can do this for these severely compromised, what can it do for skin that's not compromised? And let's think about it. Our skin gets compromised every day. Environmental stress is the things that we do, things that we do to it. And so that kind of became my journey, my passion. I felt obligated to kind of go down that path. And then we took the next 2 years and we had, for what we had, and we tweaked it. We worked really hard, diligent to add the best actives to it. And I'm a huge believer in peptides and antioxidants and how they work with HA and how our HA carries them to where they need to be. And it'll be a year now in a couple of weeks since we've been on the market, and the market has it's embraced us.
Yes.
Even beyond my expectations. I knew how good our products were, but you never know how they're going to be received.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, it's been a great first year. It really has.
I love that. That's so amazing. And it is so cool too, how I just really love my thing in skincare is the delivery systems, because anyone
Yes.
can have an HA, anyone can have a hyaluronic acid serum, but how it performs is really about that delivery system. And that's something that I've always talked about. Like, that's my favorite TED Talk to ever have, because it truly makes the difference if it's going to perform, if it's going to get to where it needs to go. Because I think a lot of people have this misconception that our skin is a sponge and everything we put on our skin, it's just going to receive it and it's just going to go where it needs to go like magic. And that's not the truth. Our skin's there to protect us. It's actually there to fight those foreign invaders and keep everything out to protect us. So,
And we worked really, really hard to get our molecular size.
yes. Yeah, which is amazing. And it's really cool. If you guys that are listening don't know, it is a dual weight hyaluronic acid. So, Keith, can you kind of explain that to us, like what that means? And yeah.
No, we worked really hard. We're very specific in our molecular weight. So we have both a high molecular weight and a low molecular weight. The other thing about the Hydrinity products, we use 100% injectable grade for all of our HA. We're the only company that does that.
Mm-hmm.
We're triple filtered to make sure it's super pure. And we also, our molecular weights are precise, never more than 2% off. So the low molecular weight we have, and we make ours, we manufacture ours different than anybody else. Like you said, we didn't invent hyaluronic acid. We just advanced it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the most advancement in hyaluronic acid in 25 years.
Yeah.
So with our low molecular weight, the nano size, the particles, sorry, I geek out a little bit sometimes.
I get excited. That's what our listeners want.
But we make it where it penetrates down to the dermal layer. And even as we age, we still have hyaluronic acid, fibroblasts, keratinocytes, and elastin at the dermal layer. We just have to find a way to get them to the epidermis. So we have luminous skin and we're super hydrated. That's the reason that we have the low molecular weight. HA, hyaluronic acid, is super sticky. So if you can penetrate it, then the antioxidants and peptides attach to it,
mm-hmm.
and they get down to the dermal layer and they stimulate your own body's recovery system. The high molecular weight, ours is at 2 million Daltons, and high molecular weight can go from 1 to 6 million. But at 2 million Daltons, you get a great protective barrier. You keep the water in the skin, but it's not tacky and it's not
mm-hmm.
sticky. Some other products become tacky and sticky because their molecular weight's just not precise. Mm-hmm. And so like I said, we worked hard for that for 2 years to get it just right. And we think we're pretty dialed in on this from all the feedback that we're getting.
Oh yeah, no, it's amazing. And for you guys listening, I'm sure you know, my son had 2 accidents this year. I'm like, I think this kid just wants to see how many scars he can get on his face until he turns 2. But I've been so thankful that I've had Hydrinity for that reason. We actually did a whole photo shoot with Hydrinity because I, use it all the time on him, even before he got hurt. And it's just amazing that there's that capability of wound healing and the antiseptic properties of the hyacin active, using it with that restorative HA. I mean, it's just worked wonders, and it doesn't hurt, it doesn't burn. And so it's been great for a mom of a rambunctious toddler to have that on deck at all times. And I mean, any little thing too, like a little bug bite or any little scratches, or his eczema. That boy has used more bottles than I have, I think.
And when we got sunburned in Italy,
yeah,
I swear it helped the redness so much faster.
It did, and Tyler stole mine because he came all the way to Italy with 2 pumps left of his HA serum, and I was like, "You don't check your bottles before you travel."
Never.
He has me as his insurance. That's
yeah,
why
exactly.
He's like, if I run out, Savanna will have a full bottle.
Savanna has she brings 2 of every bottle, so I know we're fine.
That's so true. So tell us.
Yeah, our delivery system, the pump, but you're right, you do have to check it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like some products when you're getting because you start. These you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We use a very special bottle that makes sure you can get every bit. You can't get it when it's empty. You can't get a Q-tip in there and get it wet.
Nope.
So you get what you pay for here. We believe in that. We overfill, but we also use special bottles so that you don't have to worry about that when you come to the end.
Yeah, I love that. The airless pumps, make such a big difference. And, I think too, with purchasing products for the customers, when they're getting something that's so expensive, you don't want to be like, oh my gosh, there's so much left. Like, when you have like a lip gloss or something and you're trying to get that last bit, but you can't quite get it.
Yeah.
So That is just such another amazing thing about Hydrinity. But yeah, I love both of the product. Well, all three of them. But out of the
Yep.
HAs, I feel like we definitely sell more of the restorative. Just because we do a lot of wound healing at my office and a lot of acne scarring and acne marks. But the renewing is so amazing too, because that one's great for aging and it's really wound healing as well. So that one has more peptides in it. So it is really good for that anti-aging, that sagging, that loose skin. So tell me, Keith, which one do you use?
You know what I do sometimes? I use them both.
Yeah,
I'll use the renewing sometimes in the morning and the restorative at night.
I love that.
So they're both good, but I probably use more renewing than I
Hmm.
do the restorative just because. Um, but a lot of times I'll do both, and I also use hyacin every day help because it helps clean the pores, even the redness. It's just like our HAs. We really we I'm in love with the hyacin product too, just as much
So
as
good.
I am the renewing and the restoring. So it's a daily use also. It's such a utilitarian product.
Oh, it really is.
So what's the difference between the two hyaluronic
You know,
acids?
I'll
you
have
know,
Keith tell
it's
us.
different than some of the other hyperchlorous acids. We have our manufacturing process. We have a long shelf
Hmm.
life, so it's 2 years. So when you open it, we have an airless pump.
Wow.
Some of the other ones, they get air, and
Hmm.
after a couple of weeks, they're just not as effective.
Hmm.
Where ours we do, and the mist is just it's an experience.
They
And
call it the Six
I've seen
Flags
Silas,
Mister,
I've
right?
seen your son play with it, and he
Yeah.
just loves it.
Yeah.
And so everybody loves the mist.
The mist is so good. And I think the thing I love about it is I've used so many mist, so many sprays, and I don't know what y'all did or how you got that packaging, but it comes out so fine. My husband and Tyler always say it's like the Six Flags mister. You know, when you go to like an amusement park and it's just that
Yes.
fine mist. I mean, it's just so nice. It doesn't shoot you in the eye. It doesn't make you dripping wet. Like it's just so good to be able to use throughout the day because you're getting that product onto the skin without ruining your makeup. For women that, you know, want to spray throughout the day but don't want to have weird water
Streaks.
streaks all over
Yeah.
their face, because there are some misters out there that are not fine. It's like shooting a water gun at your face. But
Well,
yeah.
it is. You're right. We tried over 100 dispensing mechanisms before we settled on this one, and we did because we got the particle is so small that it gets in your pores, but
Hmm.
also for the even coverage also
Hmm.
because sometimes when you're in a hurry and you just hit it,
Hmm.
this helps you. It helps us help ourselves in getting that even
Yes.
coverage. So yeah, we took over a weekend and we put these blue things on the wall, and
I love it.
it was great until we got it exactly the way that we wanted. So,
What a
but
fun
yeah, it's
process. I love that.
that's the one thing that we hear all the time is like, this is so cool.
It is. It's such an experience. And I think that's a big thing too with, you know, medical grade skincare. Sometimes it's not fun or it's not luxurious and it's just, you know, very medical. But I love how you guys have made, you know, the bottles so beautiful to see on your counter. I mean, like everything with Hydrinity is just such an experience, from the packaging to the way the products perform to the way they feel on the skin. I mean, it's just truly a whole experience, which I love. But I think Tyler had a question for you, Keith.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I was wondering, what are the differences between the two hyaluronic acid serums?
The renewing and the restorative.
Okay.
Tyler wants to know.
So part of it is they're both the base formulas are hyaluronic acid.
Hmm.
So we have we have twice the HA in both products than any other products out there. The restorative has a little more HA in it, but some of it's the peptides that you have. Um, with the renewing, you know, I say the one of the hero antioxidants and ingredients is the Kakadu plum. It's only grown in one place in this earth, and that's on the northern shore of Australia. That's where they get more sun than any other place. And so we have that's our vitamin C kind of antioxidant part that's in there, and it's 100 times more potent than an orange.
Oh,
And
wow.
so the renewing is super great for just everyday anti-aging for your wrinkles. It helps elastin production. I think it's a everyday fine lines and wrinkles. It helps tighten your skin. Makeup goes on over it so easy. it's just really, it's an everyday great anti-aging product. The restorative has a little more HA in it. It's soothing, but it also has the agache Mexican flower extract in it that helps fight inflammation. It fights redness. It decreases your skin's temperature by 1 degree Celsius. So that's one reason people use it post-procedure so much, whether you're getting a Morpheus, a microneedling, whatever, a laser treatment. It heals and cools your skin right away. And it just, the before and after pictures and the evidence that we have, it's cutting downtime like in half for people. And that's important because people want to have these procedures, but they don't have a week to 10 days to feel like they're scared to go out in public.
Absolutely.
So for restorative, and you guys probably ask Savanna, she's used so much of it. She's probably the clinical expert than I am. I know what I think for rosacea and redness and skin, the restorative, renewing, just your everyday anti-aging product.
Yeah.
And they you could use either one. Like up in the Northeast, a lot of times, Boston, New York area, where they have radiator heat, they'll use restorative sometimes in the wintertime as their everyday anti-aging, just because you get dried out so much. And that's the good thing about these products. You can interchange them depending on time of year, what your skin's like, what the other products you're using with it.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of the difference.
That's so cool.
Sorry, that's probably a little.
No, we want all of the info. Everyone wants to hear all the nitty gritty. Yeah, we always deep dive, but no, I love them both so much. But yeah, for me, I am very dry, so I love the restorative. And the cool thing about it too, that I think my favorite thing about it is that when you apply it, it comes out thicker, but once you start to manipulate it into the skin, it literally goes out. It's like water. It reminds me of like cotton candy when you put cotton candy on your tongue and it just instantly like melts into your tongue. That's how I feel these HAs are. Like they truly just are like a big drink of water for your face. Yep. And I love the restorative because it does lower that skin's temperature. I like to call it like an ice pack for your face or a fire extinguisher for your face because it really puts out that heat. So I literally, especially after I air laze, so whenever I do air laze on my patients, that's what I put on them immediately after. And you can feel like when the skin's hot like that and you put it on there, like immediately it just turns into water on their face. And they're like, what is that? What did you just put on me? That feels so good. And they're like, it's so cold. Like, did you put that in like a freezer before you put it on my face? I'm like, no, this is just in my drawer out the bottle. And they're like, I want that. I'm buying that. So I think that's my favorite thing is just I put so many things on my clients post-procedure in the past, and I've never had someone be like, what did you just put on me? And that's how I know it's a good product when a client's like, what was that?
Absolutely.
You know? Because most of the time they're just sitting there. They're like, okay, she's putting stuff on, whatever. But they always are like, what did you just do? What was that? So it's just amazing. But the hyacin, I think it's just crazy. So I'm on TikTok all the time. And I swear you guys made hypochlorous acid a name for itself. I truly have not seen people talk about hypochlorous acid like this. And I haven't been in the industry forever, 6 years, but I'm very into what people are talking about, what the buzzwords are, who's talking about what. And you guys put hypochlorous on the map, which is crazy because hypochlorous acid, obviously our body produces it and it's been around forever. I mean, ophthalmologists are using it for eyes. I mean, I've heard tattoo artists be like, oh, that's what we send our patients home with after they get tattooed or piercings or whatever. But nobody was talking about hypochlorous acid until Hydrinity came out with hyacin active spray. And so I always get people say, well, can't you just go get one from the drugstore? Like, I want you to tell us and tell the listeners, like, why hyacin active is so different than those that you can just get on Amazon or get on the drugstores. And I already know my answer of why and what I tell people, but I want to hear what Keith says.
Okay. And yes, you're right. It has been around, and I had seen it used in the surgical settings as a cleanser, and especially in the burn units, they use a lot of that because it kills the bacteria so rapidly, but it dissipates so quickly you don't build up resistance. And that's one reason it's good for your skin. It kills the bacteria, but it doesn't negatively affect your normal biome. The reason that we're so different, the hyacin active is different. Number one is the stability. Hypochlorous acid is easy. You can make it at home. You can make it in
I've seen
your bathtub.
So many of those videos of come with me to make hypochlorous acid in my bathtub. I'm like, that's scary.
It is scary. But it's so unstable that if you try your home recipe, by the next day it's no good. I mean, you have to use it right then. So what we have found in our manufacturing way is to get the shelf life and the stability for 2 years.
Wow.
Our delivery mechanism with our bottles being airless, so that no air gets in there. So on day 1 and day 30, you still get the same efficacy. The things you buy at the drugstore, you're not going to, because they're not in airless pumps. You're not going to get that stability. So basically, you're spraying water on yourself after
Nice.
about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The other thing is the delivery system. Our particles delivered are 14 nanometers, so that's small enough to get in your pores, clean your pores. It's the fighting the inflammation around your pores. Your pore size are your pore size. But how this does, it gets in them, it cleans it out to allow also for the other products to be delivered in a more efficient way. So we've done a couple of things. It's delivery mechanism, it's the stability, and our ingredients are just a little. We got some proprietary that we use to make it a little different.
Yeah.
But it is so unique, and it can be used for so many things. And I think people just it's undervalued. It's just like hyaluronic acid is undervalued. Hypochlorous acid it's great. The thing I love about it, I wish I'd have had it when my kids were small. You can spray it in their eyes, their mouth. You know what? Sometimes they ask me. My granddaughter's 3, and she goes, "Hey, can I get some spray today? I got a Bobo." You know, it's just
That's so cute.
And to me, when you get people starting to ask for it, that's when you know you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the coolest things about it is like, I wish my parents knew about this or that we had Hydrinity, because I have literal trauma from my mom being like, oh, you got a boo-boo, put your leg over the bathtub, and she would just pour hydrogen peroxide on it.
When you used to see that brown bottle come out, you'd be like, no, I'm out.
I'd run around. I was like, I'd rather get staph infection. I'd rather die, Mom. I know. I just remember my mom holding me down and be like, it's okay. Would just dump it on there. And my dad trying to clean my wounds, and it hurts. Oh my God. The worst thing, getting hurt didn't hurt. It was all the stuff they put on it after to make it burn. So I think that's just such an amazing thing, you know, especially, like I said, having a rambunctious little toddler who always has some sort of wound on him. It's great because he doesn't even know I'm doing anything. It feels like water. It doesn't burn at all. Like I said, and like Keith said, you can spray it in your eyes, in your mouth. I actually had, and I tested this, I think it was like 2 months ago. I had the worst canker sore of my life. And I get bad canker sores sometimes. And I, have tried everything. I tried those little like numbing patches that just kind of like help take the pain away or whatever. But I was like, I'm just going to try to spray hyacin active on it and see what happens. It literally healed in 48 hours. I was shocked. Because usually when I get canker sores, they last me like 8 to 9 days. Like they stay forever. So I thought that was really cool too, that you're able to do that. And I've had so many patients that come in with periocular dermatitis, perioral dermatitis. And I have always, in my practice, I have great products, but I've never had something that I'm like, I confidently know that this is going to help with that dermatitis, because it is such a tricky skin condition. And I'm telling you, restorative HA with the hyacin active, those two is a game changer. I mean, within 48 hours, her eyes were completely back to normal. She was so happy, and it's just amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I also feel like you obviously do a lot of acne.
Yeah.
And not every client, but some clients definitely, when they come in and they've been using Amazon skincare or Sephora skincare or something, and then you put them on these highly active products. Sometimes they can get a little dry just while they're acclimating, because they start using mandelic acid or benzoyl peroxide or like any of these ingredients. But I feel like adding in the Hydrinity, it's brought that percentage down a lot in terms of like just that turnaround period with their skin getting used to these ingredients that can dry you out a bit.
Yeah.
But I think because like you said, it's like a drink of water for your face. So it's like it really, your favorite thing in skincare is balance. So like when you have these super exfoliating, you want stuff that supports that.
Yes.
And I mean, other brands have things that help support it, but this one is like...
Yeah, you don't need 8 products. Before, I feel like I was like, okay, we need to do a hydrating toner, a hydrating serum, a hydrating that. So it's great for those clients that don't want 18 products.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if they're using at least the HA, like from Hydrinity, I know that they're going to get that barrier support. And you're right, whatever we break down, we must rebuild all. So I think that's such a big thing in skincare too, is that the past couple years, everyone's talking about retinoids and all of these. And like, yes, they're amazing products, but you have to have that balance in the skin and you have to have that hydration, or you can prematurely age yourself if you're just exfoliating and not nourishing that skin back to its normal health. So I think it's super important.
Yeah. So what was y'all's first product?
They launched with all three, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, all three at the same time. We had the three individuals, and then we kitted them because I thought that was super important, like you said, for the balance and for the treatments, the renewing and the restoring kit. So yeah, so we launched all three products last September, and then the and the kits also, because they work so well together.
Mhm.
And like you and Savanna were talking about, Tyler, people sometimes don't want to use 6 or 8 products. They don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
And so we tried to simplify things. We also made our products where they fit well with other products, because we know we don't have the one product for everything, but we know ours fits in every regimen. And that's what we try to do, is look, how can we help patients and customers have great skin? And we got other products, and we can talk that's coming that hopefully we'll talk about later. But for right now, these fit well in other people's in their regimens, because they have some products that they use that work really well, but they need just a little bit extra. Hyacin, everybody can use that, because nobody else has something like that. The renewing and the restoring, there's places for that in most people's regimens. So we don't try to replace everything. We know we have great products, and there's a place for them in everyone's regimen.
I love that. And I love that the hyacin is something that you can travel with too. I thought that was something that you guys really thought about when you did the ounces, that I can take it on the airplane. And that was like my best friend when I was traveling to Italy and I was on those long flights and wasn't able to really, do my regimen as normal. I knew I was at least getting that bacteria off my face and getting all the grime off during traveling. And so that's something I think is really cool, is that you don't have to worry about TSA stealing it from you because it's the appropriate size. And I have it everywhere. I took it to a concert recently, and I didn't tell you this story. It was so funny. So they were like checking my bag, and this lady's like, "What is this?" And she's like, "Is it aerosol?" And I'm like, "No, it's not aerosol. It's like, it's an antimicrobial spray." And she's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "It's hypochlorous acid." And she's like, "Where do you get that?" And I was like, "It's on hydrinity.com. She's like, "I'm going to look into that later." And it was just a funny conversation because she was so confused why I had this massive bottle. Like, it took up my whole purse. It was literally that and then like hand sanitizer and like a lip gloss.
No, I'm telling you, Savanna does not leave the house without her hyacin active, because I was with her before she went to this concert, and the place she was going to, you had to bring a small bag. Like, you weren't allowed to bring a big bag. And she was like trying to close her purse and it would not fit. And I was like, "Do you really need the hyacin active?" And she was like, "Yes, I absolutely do." Like, she stuffed it in her purse. Like, she does
I'm not going anywhere without this.
She doesn't. It's always in her bag.
Spraying it throughout the concert. I sprayed it on the guy next to me. He was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Come here." Just a little spray for everybody. But yeah, I mean, these products are truly life-changing. And like I said, me and Tyler said, like, I do not bring on skincare lines very often. And I'm very, very, very picky.
It has to be revolutionary.
It has to be. And, with Hydrinity, when they came to me, Samantha came to me, and I had never heard about it before. I was like, "What is this?" There was, really nothing out about it. And I didn't know anyone else. Usually, I know industry peers and people I look up to. I'm like, "Oh, well, if this dermatologist is using it, it must be good." Or just, usually I know about it. But this literally was like this underground skincare line that I was like, "I don't know what it is. I'm going to listen to what they have to say about it. I'm going to look at the technology." And when I looked at the technology and I felt the products, I was like, "Okay, I'm going to do it." And now, it's blown up. It's everywhere. It's one of the fastest growing skincare companies. So I'm really excited to grow with them and, see what's next. So Keith, tell us, what is next?
Well, we actually, in 35 days, we have 2 new products that we're going to launch. So y'all listen to Savanna. She will be able to have that breaking news for you on September 18th.
Yes.
She will let you know. These 2 new products they're super packed with peptides, antioxidants. They'll use RHA as our base formula, so they'll be super hydrating, but they treat very specific areas. And as much as I love the ones we have now, these will be my favorite children too. So
Oh,
it's going to be these two products are going to change some people's lives. They really are. It's I can't say too much because
yeah.
I want it to be
The
a
big
surprise, and I
surprise.
want all
Yeah.
your followers to get it from you. I don't want them to get it from me. On September 18th, we will have two new great products.
I'm
I'm
really
really excited.
excited.
Oh, we said at the same time.
I'm always so I'm
You can
always
try
so
some. I have it
excited.
at the house if you want to try
But
some
but
tonight.
if you want clues, you might be able to if you go Hydrinity,
Yes.
the Instagram account.
Yes.
We'll be doing some teasers up until then, and we'll be giving clues. So
Hmm.
for your
Yeah.
fans and your followers,
Yes.
you can go to the Hydrinity Instagram account, and we'll have some teasers, and there'll be a quiz. We'll have a quiz. We'll put out some
Ooh,
ingredients,
I love
and
that.
we'll let people kind of guess and see if they know what type these two new products are
I'm
coming.
so
I like
excited.
that. Go follow Hydrinity on Instagram.
Yes.
What's y'all's handle?
It's just Hydrinity. I think it's Hydrinity _ skincare, right? Or is it just Hydrinity skincare? I don't know. Let me find it out. I should
Yeah.
know. I should.
Samantha, do you know? I think Samantha's sitting here. You know what?
I think it's Hydrinity skincare. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, it's Hydrinity _ skincare. I have
You
such
did know.
good photographic memory. That is my favorite thing about myself. But you can try some tonight. I can tell you guys, you're going to love them. I'm always that person. I have to test things for a long time before I know I like them, but I knew immediately. So,
That's good.
yeah.
I'm excited. That's my favorite thing is when new products come out from our brands that we love because we know that they're
Yeah.
like, it's not some foo-foo product. Like
Yeah.
it's going to be something new and really good.
Exciting. I know.
It's always
I
exciting.
cannot wait. So it's going to be good. Okay. So Keith, do you have any closing thoughts for us or any other things you want to share with our listeners about Hydrinity?
No, number one, again, thank you. I'll see
Thank you.
if Samantha has anything to say, but no, but just thank you. I just want to thank everybody for the wide acceptance of these products. We take what we do very seriously, and we want to bring best in class products. We use top notch. We think better ingredients, better delivery systems equal better results.
100%.
And so that's what we're super focused on quality. If something's not just right, then we won't bring it to market. We'll throw it away. When you get something from Hydrinity, what we have is we call it the Hydrinity guarantee. If you don't like our product, you go to Hydrinity customer service or wherever you get it from, and if you tell them you don't like it, you may not. If you just don't like the color of the bottle, I don't like this. I will give your money back to you.
Wow.
That's how much I believe in our products.
I love that.
They work, and so we want to offer that. We know people have a choice in what they buy, and they want to see results. We will make sure that our products are best in class and give you rapid results because you need and deserve that.
Yeah.
And so we're just here to provide this to everybody we can.
And I love that about you guys. And that honestly was one of the biggest things that spoke to me when I met with y'all was that you're very ethical. And for me, when I am partnering with a skincare line, one, the products have to be amazing. Two, I have to work with an ethical company that has a good heart and has a good mission and is to, serve others and not serve themselves. There are a lot of skincare companies that are very self-serving and they have amazing products, but they do not care about anything but the dollar sign. And customers see that, us estheticians see that, providers feel that, and that's not who you want to align yourself with. And so I think it's really, really important, that you guys have both because a lot of people don't. And, when you have good products and you have a good heart, how can you not go to the top? That's how I feel. I love it. I'm excited. I can't wait for this new launch. You guys are going to love it. And thank you so much, Keith, for your time today. We are honored to be talking to the CEO of Hydrinity today. And if you guys want to purchase any of these products, I have a link in my bio and you can just click on there and it ships to your house and you will fall in love with Hydrinity just like we all have.
Absolutely.
Yay. Well, thank you so much, Keith. We'll talk to you soon, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for taking the time with us.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure. My honor and my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Kat. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next Monday.